Brian at Atlanta Hot Tub Center, and today, by popular demand on Tub Talk 101, we are going to do a review on roto-mold hot tubs. And we're going to talk about the Paisley and, gosh, what's the other model, Dusty? Throw it out there.
The Berkeley.
Paisley and the Berkeley. Thank you, Dusty. That's what we're going to talk about today. First things first, let's start with the basics. A roto-mold hot tub is a plastic powder that they heat up and melt over a shell mold. That is how you get a roto-mold hot tub. A roto-mold hot tub is not an acrylic shell. An acrylic shell is more like this, right? You can kind of tell by the shine, by the smoothness of it. You know, when you get to these roto-molds, they're a little bit rougher, and they don't have kind of that shine to it either. So it is not also a self-supporting hull. So this shell does not support its own weight with water in it. They are really designed to last about 7 or 8 years if you really take care of it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want anybody to get confused and say, oh, well, it's not a great hot tub. That's not true. It just depends what it is that you're looking for. That's the most important thing. In other words, if you were just looking to spend some time with a couple of friends, with your spouse, you know, have a glass of wine or what have you, this may absolutely be perfect for you, right? You don't care that it lasts 30 years. Hey, if I get 6, 7 years out of it, I'm happy. You know, I just want something to hang out in, just hang out in some hot water, you know, that kind of thing. Then this may be ultimately just perfect for you, okay? But it's not going to have the type of jetting and hydrotherapy and stuff that some other, you know, models and brands, and when you start getting up in Sundance, are going to have. Again, this is our entry level hot tub, right? And it's really here to combat or really here to compete with the online marketplace. You know, we want to compete against, you know, Wayfair, Home Depot, Lowe's, Costco, Sam's Club, right? So again, this is kind of like an internet hot tub, but it's got a touch of Sundance, all right? It's got a touch of Sundance. What I mean by that is, one, okay, Sundance said, hey, we need full access to all the sides, right? You can see if I had a problem, I can get into this foam and I can repair it. Most roto-mold hot tubs are completely plastic all the way around, and there's no access. There's no panel like this that comes off of the hot tub, right? So what you're stuck doing is flipping it up in the air and trying to do repairs. Well, here's the problem. If you have a leak or you have a problem, let's say you have a leak on your hot tub, right? Well, you can't flip up the hot tub with water in it. So how are you going to track down that leak to repair it, right? And that's what I mean where, you know, really a lot of roto-mold hot tubs, the moment they leak, they're almost trashed. So the good news is here is if it does leak or have a problem, we do have access to all 4 sides, okay? You have this top side control. Again, it's super basic. You got your jets off and on, lights off and on, temp up and down. So there's not a whole lot to it. Let's turn this guy. It's pretty light, as you can see. So, again, what I mean by a touch of Sundance, right? We got this full foam insulation that you saw. We got access to the sides, right? And we got Balboa electronics. This is a BS Balboa electronic system, and quite frankly, Balboa makes the best, you know, electronics, in my opinion, in this industry, and has, quite frankly, for many, many years. Again, in my opinion. So, you know, the trick here is that Sundance wants to offer a good hot tub at an entry-level price that's not going to continuously have problems, right? Yes, it's only going to last 6, 7, 8 years, and that's it. That's all you're going to get out of it. However, you won't have those constant service calls and stuff along the way, right? That's what's most important, because we've got to protect the Sundance name. And I think this goes for any great manufacturer out there manufacturing hot tubs, whether you talk Master Spas or Watkins and Hot Spring. And, you know, if you're going to have an entry-level hot tub, it still has to be something that's going to be somewhat durable. We don't need a customer constantly calling because it's breaking down constantly. That's not good. It's not good for the brand. So that's another thing that you're going to get, right? You're going to get a Sundance dealership to back you when you have questions or concerns or need service. And you've got one of the best manufacturers in the world that are there to help you as well, right, when you purchase one of these hot tubs. And that's a pretty big perk. You know, you may be thinking to yourself, well, you know, is that really important? It's very important, because the moment that you need something, you need somebody to call, right? So, again, this is the Sundance Splash Series. It's the entry level. And Dusty, if you want to come up real quick, And we can just kind of look. You know, they have a couple of different models. I think they got a new one now, right? Like the Brook. I think it's called the Brook. And a couple of them have a lounge. This is more of your basic layout here, right? It's more of your bench seating layout. And you can hook it up 115 or 220. It is a convertible hot tub, and it's important to understand, you know, when you're on 115 volts, when you turn the jet pump on, the heater goes off. It only heats 2 to 3 degrees an hour. It's not as efficient. When you get to 220, you turn the jet pumps on, the heater's still on, it heats 7 to 8 degrees an hour. It's more efficient. It's actually cheaper monthly to be on 220 than it is on 115, right? Now, for each of these models, there is an A and B. Okay, so you got to make a decision there. Talk to your dealership and see what they suggest before you make that decision. The A is really a 115, 220 volt convertible hot tub. That's really what we sell here. You know, that kind of opens the door whether or not the customer wants 115 or 220. Again, we do consider this, quite frankly, a hot tub on a budget. And then there is the B, which is strictly a 220. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to go strictly 220, you're going to get a little bit more pressure from the jets. You're gonna have that 7 to 8 degrees an hour constantly because there's no conversion. But I think the biggest benefit to going to the other model is that you basically get 10 to 12 additional jets depending on which model, the Brook, the Paisley, or the Dusty
Berkeley.
I can't seem to remember the model Berkeley for some reason. I'm gonna have to work on that. Anyway, this is Brian at Atlanta Hot Tub Center and Tub Talk 101 and a review on the Sundance Splash Series from Sundance. Thank you.